Hi, thanks for tuning in. This week I'm taking a look at the passage where John the Baptist sends some messengers to Jesus to confirm whether he is in fact the Messiah or if the Jewish people should continue to wait. And there were a few things in this passage that when I've read it in the past kind of gave me pause or maybe confused me a little bit. So I felt like a few of those were illuminated for me while I was doing my study, and I thought maybe I would share those things in the video. So the first thing is, if John the Baptist was so in tune with God's will and with what was going on, why did he suddenly falter in his faith and have to ask Jesus again if he really was the Messiah? And so that question was answered for me I read a few different things that said, for number one, we know that the Jewish people were looking for a Messiah who would reign politically. And so John the Baptist at the time was in prison and surely suffering quite a bit and may have been questioning, well, what is taking Jesus so long to take his position of power and then use that power, for instance, to free me from prison or take care of a lot of the other oppressive things that were going on. So I thought that was a pretty helpful insight for that point. And then the next thing that kind of confused me was that Jesus says, the least in the kingdom will be greater than John the Baptist. And when I was reading about that part, it said that because John wasn't going to live long enough to see the death and resurrection of Jesus, that he just wasn't going to benefit from the advantage that offers us as Christians today. So he had wonderful faith in God, and he's going to be among the the forefathers and the Old Testament prophets that are in heaven, but at the same time he just doesn't get the advantage of living post Savior. So that kind of explained that one a little bit for me. And then the last one is I didn't really understand the metaphor of the kids playing different songs and being mad because someone wasn't crying or dancing. So the explanation that I saw is that it was sort of like kids in the street wanted to play. Some of them wanted to play weddings and some of them wanted to play funerals, and they couldn't really decide which one they wanted to play. So it was an example of the people's capricious hearts at the time that they couldn't really decide what direction they wanted to go. So anyway, hope that was helpful, and there's a lot more in the commentary, so just take a look and see you next time.